walls went quiet one by one. Golden fires gone cold. They turned their faces towards the stars, left Midgard growing old. I felt the tear between the worlds, like bone pulled out of skin. Every step I took toward mortals was a wound I fell back in. They call it exile, they call it choice, but no one hears the cost of being the last voice. It hurts to walk where I don't belong, to wear a name they half remember. I bleed myself into borrowed time, just to keep your embers warm. The gods walked on, the doors all closed. I stayed when faith grew thin. I slip into Midgard on broken knees, so the old waves breathe again. I watched you build your worlds of stone, forgot the rooms in ash. You traded stories for commandments and called the silence fact. But I hear you in your hunger, in the ache you cannot name. You still whisper to the fire, even if you're ashamed. You said forget us, let it die, let myths turn into dust. But someone had to answer when you still reached for us. It hurts to walk where I don't belong, to wear a god in mortal skin. Every prayer cuts like a blade, but I answer them again. The gods walked on, the doors all closed. I stayed when faith grew thin. I slip into Midgard on broken knees, so the old waves breathe again. I am not your devil, I am not your lie. I am the question you buried, because the truth won't die. I am the fire you fear to name, the trick that keeps you awake. I stayed when heaven abandoned you for the promise I would break. Whisper my name to the trees, carve it where no one sees. You don't need temples or thrones, just remember you were never alone. It hurts, but I come anyway, through centuries of blame. I tear myself into your mask, so you remember flame. The gods walked on, the doors all closed. I stayed when faith grew thin. I slip into Midgard, bleeding light, and call the old ways home again. If you feel watched in the dark, if the fire answers back, that's not